Diane in Denmark here, and welcome back to another one of the Flylady's Super Cruising Missions. And remember, these missions are going to help us to get ready for Christmas, the holidays, whatever you're planning, and we're doing it just like we always do in the Flylady system, in baby steps. We're not getting overwhelmed or panicked. We're just, using our timer, setting it for 10 or 15 minutes and doing a little bit of planning or decorating or baking in the lead up to the holidays. So if you missed the first Super Cruising mission or the missions that we did before, don't worry about it. You can just dive in where we are right now. But I've got a playlist up there which has all the missions on it, and I've also added the other things like I've been doing Christmas baking, fudge that you can, very simple fudge that you can make ahead, put in the freezer and use when you have guests. So anyway, if you want to take a look at that, it's up there. The first cruising mission yesterday, we set our timer and we decorated a little bit in our house or maybe outside in the garden. Please remember, use your timer and make sure that your routines are done, your morning routine or your evening routine. I've got, dress shoes, I've got my indoor lace-up shoes on, and I'm ready to do a little bit today. The mission for today, Super Cruising Mission number 2, is to take a look at your linens, serviettes. I'm just going to talk you through what I've got here in my box. And also remember, if you've got guests coming to stay at Christmas, or over New Year, what about the guest bedroom? Do you need to check the bedding in there? Do you maybe need to wash, if you've got some rugs? Just, get that on your radar, and let's do a little bit at a time. I've been in the basement and I brought up, you probably saw this tub of one of my Christmas decoration tubs, and I was decluttering those. It's all in the playlist up there, so you've probably seen the contents of this. And this is all my kind of linens and soft stuff, and I'm going to be taking out those things today, and I'm going to put them in the kitchen, because I think now, it's going to be the 1st of December on Friday. So now I'm going to take out my red, I don't know why, I just like to have these red hand towels for Christmas, and Mum always gives me some. I've also got, this was an item that my daughter decluttered. Maybe if you saw on Instagram, I post pictures of what we've been doing. And she decluttered this from her room, and I washed it, and I was going to give it to the thrift store, and I thought actually that might look quite nice in our living room. So I'm going to try that. And I've got, maybe if you've got Thanksgiving things or, pumpkins, anything like that, maybe you want to put those away now and make space for your Christmas things. This is, and you don't need to spend a fortune on Christmas stuff. I made this tablecloth. It was just cheap material from IKEA. I think it was actually bedding, I can't remember what it was. Anyway, I just bought, the amount of meters that I needed and hemmed it very basically, and from the extra material I made some little serviettes, some napkins. That was an anti-procrastination day project, getting those finished off. And I got this was it about 3 Christmases ago, the material, 2 Christmases ago. And it's actually been really handy because here in Denmark, I don't know if you know the Danish flag, but it's red and white. So I get a lot of use out of this. I can use it for birthdays, any kind of Danish celebration, and I'm going to be using it at Christmas because, red and white, and a wee touch of green or silver, it makes it look great. So anyway, that's going to be one of my things for the table. And I've got plenty of, as I showed you, I've got plenty of little hand towels, and I took a lot of them to the charity shop. So I've got a small pile now that will fit in here in the kitchen. And otherwise in here I've got the tree skirt, that goes underneath the Christmas tree, and some other, let me just pull them out, some other really Christmassy tablecloths that I've had for centuries. I mean, you know what it's like, you know, you get the Christmas tablecloth and it lasts forever. Oh, and I'm going to be putting this one out. This is the one that I, with my lack of patience, cross-stitched for my dearly departed Danish father-in-law, and that is going to be going into the dining room. You might see that this week because we're working in 2 zones this week. In Flylady we're working in zones 5 and in zones 1, you know, we're a crossover of the months. Right, and otherwise in here, oh that's the other thing, yeah, I've got lots of red candles, so I'm going to put those into the big chest of drawer that we've got in the living room. So we're all ready with our red candles, and I've got all my Christmas serviettes. And I think I told you when I was decluttering my Christmas decoration bins, it's a really good idea to declutter them in the run-up to Christmas, because it reminds you of what you actually have. And I was thinking, did I need some Christmas serviettes? I do not need to buy Christmas serviettes for the next 15 years, I think. So I've got plenty of them. So those, I'm going to put a few Christmas serviettes. I'm going to keep them in here in the kitchen for when, you know, we're having lunch or dinner or breakfast. And the other ones will go also into that chest of drawers that I have in the living room. Because that's where I keep all my things for when we are entertaining, you know, sitting at the table. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, because I'm going to take these things, put them where they need to be, and then, and here comes the best part, I'm going to put this bin back down in the basement. Okay, so when you start taking out decorations and things and linens, make sure you put things away once you're finished with them, because we don't want to have, you know, them sitting in the hall or the kitchen and then, you know, suddenly guests are arriving, you've got plastic bins everywhere. So anyway, I'm going to set my timer. I think this is going to take me 5-6 minutes and I should be done. And the other thing that I brought up when I was down in the basement for the kitchen is, I showed you this. This was a glass jug that my dearly departed Danish mother-in-law had. It says, you can't really see it here, but it's engraved and it says Jul 1978, which means Christmas 1978. And we don't really use the jug, but it's quite decorative. And what I did was I put in these, and these are really vintage Christmas baubles that belong to my husband's dad, and these are probably, gosh, some of them are probably, I don't know, maybe 80, 90 years old, and one of them spontaneously combusted, so I've decided just to put them in here, and that way they're kind of safe. Even if they spontaneously combust, we're not going to have shards of glass all over the place. So that is going to go here in the kitchen. That's part of my Christmas thing that I do in the kitchen. And oh, one more thing, if you are following me on Instagram, you'll already have seen this, but when I post my picture of my shiny sink every night, you see, you know, the Flylady. Anyway, I've my little Flylady doll that I got from Marla as a Christmas present a couple of years ago, and now I've given her a wee bit of she's looking a bit more festive, and I've got the reindeer, and she was sitting on the reindeer yesterday. Anyway, if you want to follow along on Instagram, it's hashtag Diane in Denmark, sorry, and you can post what you're doing, if you're following along with the missions, you know, what you're having for dinner, your outfit for the day, things like that. Anyway, I'm going to finish off. Have a great day. So the mission, Super Cruising Mission number 2, look out your linens, you know, tablecloths, think about the guest bedroom if you've got guests coming, hand towels for the kitchen, bathroom, whatever you do, just go and get them ready. They need a wash. If they need a wash, you know, get them in the washing machine, and let's just do it one baby step at a time. Right, that's it for me. Live long and prosper, and see you very, very soon.